Milan, 1450. The Duke of Milan, Visconti, presents an unusual gift to his son-in-law Francesco Sforza at a celebration marking the anniversary of his wedding to Visconti's daughter. 3 tarot decks.
Francesco, pay attention to this card.
It looks quite like me.
Exactly. This card is called Strength.
I like it.
Following this, Francesco Sforza approached the fireplace, took a poker, and tied it into a knot. The guests at the feast cheered enthusiastically. The Visconti-Sforza decks then became the oldest complete sets of tarot cards to have reached us. Greetings, Wanderer. May the strength be with you on your mystical journey into the world of tarot. Originally, the Strength card clearly referred to the feats of the legendary strongman Samson. For example, on this card from the Italian deck of 1810, we see Samson tearing the lion's jaws apart. In the biblical Book of Judges, there are many more exploits attributed to Samson. He possessed immense strength, which was hidden in his long hair. While the rest of Samson's fellow Israelites had submitted to the Philistines who had conquered them, he single-handedly defeated an entire army of enemies armed only with the jawbone of a donkey that he found at his feet. But the more well-known story is how the legendary hero lost his strength. Samson fell in love with the beauty Delilah. She was a Philistine and decided to use her feminine charms to discover the secret of Samson's strength. Interestingly, her name can be translated as making poor, but it seems Samson didn't catch the hint.
Do you love me, Samson?
Yes, Delilah, I do.
Then tell me, can you be defeated?
Yes, tie me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried.
Really?
Just kidding. It's actually new ropes that have never been used.
What nonsense. You claim to love me, yet you blatantly lie to me.
Alright, fine. My hair has never been cut since I was born, so if you were to shave it off, I would lose my strength.
The next morning, Samson woke up without his hair and tightly bound. Later, in their joy, the Philistines brought Samson to the main temple of their god Dagon, a creature with the body of a fish and the head of a human. However, the Philistines didn't realize that Samson's hair had grown back, granting him enough strength to bring down the temple's columns and kill everyone inside, including himself and his enemies. Gradually, women start replacing Samson on the strength cards. For instance, on the tarot of Charles VI, which has survived from the 14th century, we can already see a woman who is breaking a column. And here is the power of feminine charms, before which even mighty monsters are powerless, receiving its greatest reflection in the strength card of the Thoth Tarot. This is how Aleister Crowley himself describes this card.
A woman rides atop a beast. The passion that binds them is the reins held in her left hand. In her right hand, she raises a cup high, the Holy Grail, aflame with love and death. At the very top of the card, we see the emblem of a new light with 10 horns of the beast, which are also serpents spreading out in all directions to destroy the world and recreate it anew.
The second name of this card in the Thoth Tarot is Lust, and it refers to ancient legends where a monster cannot resist feminine beauty. A similar theme, for example, can be seen in the ancient Greek myth of the Abduction of Europa. Let's briefly return to Francesco Sforza, whom we saw on the strength card of the Visconti-Sforza Tarot. He was a condottiere, a real beast of war, killing people for money, and, of course, he didn't resist his desires at all. As I mentioned before, he was married to the daughter of the Duke of Milan and had 8 children in this marriage. Prior to that, he had a marriage with the Countess of Montalto, who also bore him a daughter. Unfortunately, both the daughter and his first wife were poisoned by her own aunt in order to seize all of their property. Apart from this, Francesco had a vast number of illegitimate offspring from different women. In total, based on confirmed records alone, he had 35 children. This, of course, speaks not only of his significant physical strength but also his lust. Following the tradition that emerged in the Marseille Tarot, Arthur Edward Waite emphasizes the gentle power of the woman. On his strength card, the woman does not tear the lion's mouth, but gently closes it. Here are the symbols that the Rosicrucian and Mason Waite encoded in the strength card.
The maiden embodies the spiritual aspect of a person. Hence, she wears a white dress, the color of innocence and purity. The lemniscate, or infinity symbol above her head, signifies life. And not just life, but the endless life of the soul. The same symbol is present on the magician card as well. The lion, on the other hand, represents the animal aspect of a person. Instincts and bodily desires. They'll help you survive, but if you don't keep them in check, they'll devour you. The entire card is an allegory. The ultimate strength of a person lies in the fact that their spirit can tame the body.
Mabel Stark was one of the first female tiger tamers. She worked in close quarters with various dangerous predators throughout her entire life, starting in 1911. She began her career with a single trick riding on top of a lion. Only after 5 years did she earn the right to have her own act with tigers. When she was already 70, Stark joined the Jungleland show in California. However, the show was sold to another owner who immediately took a disliking to the elderly trainer and fired her. Soon after, one of Mabel Stark's tigers escaped. Instead of catching the animal, or calling Mabel for help, the owner simply shot the tiger. The 78-year-old former tiger tamer could not survive such cruelty. In protest, she killed herself, writing in her suicide note,
"The chute door opens as I crack my whip and shout, 'Let them come!' Out slink the striped cats, snarling and roaring, leaping at each other or at me. It's a matchless thrill, and life without it is not worthwhile to me."
The character of Mabel Stark resembles the heroine of the Strength card in the Pagan Tarot. Her strength lies in her ability to communicate effectively with any animal in the forest. And the final mythological strongman for today. You can see him in almost any city. Atlas, that's what the male sculpture supporting a balcony or another part of a building is called. In Greek mythology, Atlas is a titan who possessed incredible strength and, as punishment for rebelling against Zeus, is condemned to hold the celestial heavens upon his shoulders. Once, Hercules came to him and set up 2 pillars on either side of the Strait of Gibraltar.
"Rest your burden upon these pillars."
Atlas shrugged and agreed.
I'll ensure that the fame of Hercules Pillars lives on eternally.
And so it happened. In the Middle Ages, the depiction of Hercules Pillars appeared on the coat of arms of Charles V. Later, they migrated to the coat of arms of Spain. Naturally, they were also minted on coins that circulated in America. According to one version, the dollar sign emerged as a stylization of these very Hercules pillars. Dear Wanderer, our journey has come to an end. And so, it's time to move on to the next one.